In today's video, you'll see a freshwater fish on the beach, one of the biggest sharks in the world, and something that probably died because of its last meal. But first, let's look at one of the many dead mermaid sightings that litter the internet. Mermaids. Videos like these are a dime a dozen. Unfortunately for mermaid enthusiasts, all of these videos are faked. After all, these kinds of videos do get a lot of views online, and you know what that means. So the photo, and this video as well, can easily be dismissed and we can all move on with our lives. But sometimes one video claiming to be a dead beach mermaid comes up that will basically leave us scratching our heads. Like this one, for instance. This gruesome footage was taken by a man named Paul Jones who was taking a walk at the Great Yarmouth Beach in Norfolk. He posted it on social media, claiming to have found a dead body of a mermaid washed up on the beach. The gruesome image showed the decaying body of a human-like creature with a fish tail lying on the sand, with the midsection of the body appearing to be rotting while the tail and head have stayed relatively intact. Well, many people jumped on the mermaid bandwagon, but as with all things mysterious, there's a very simple explanation for this. Mr. Jones's Facebook profile shows him to be a keen modeler, particularly of creepy figures. He's also a member of the Horror and Halloween DIY Facebook group, so it's pretty much a guarantee that he staged the entire thing. Amazon River Monster. Now here's something you definitely don't expect to wash up on beaches. The arapaima is a large fish native to the Amazon River. It is a freshwater fish, hence when a dead one made an appearance in one of Florida's beaches, it made quite a stir. In fact, many Floridians worried that this massive river monster might become one of the state's latest invasive species. Understandable, because Florida is basically overrun by invasive species. The arapaima is one of the world's largest freshwater fish and can grow to be 10 feet long and up to 440 pounds. But it has a few quirks. It breeds only in nests on floodplains and spends valuable time and energy caring for its young, and doesn't reach sexual maturity until about 5 feet long and at least 3 to 5 years old. Also, it can't really survive that long in salt water, which pretty much puts a damper to the whole "river monster invades Florida" thing. What probably happened here was likely an exotic pet in a person's private aquarium that either got too big for its tank and was illegally released into the wild, or died in captivity and was dumped into the sea. A pod of whales. Whales get stuck on beaches all the time, and although the sight of a beached whale is something to behold, it's not all that out of the ordinary. But what if a whole pod gets beached? In late February 2021, a pod of 49 long-fin pilot whales were stranded on Farewell Spit, a beach on the South Island of New Zealand. Hundreds of people worked hand in hand in order to return the animals to the open water. But even with their best efforts, 9 of the whales died. You'd think that the rest of the whales would happily swim out to sea, but you'd be wrong. The whales decided to stick around the shallows, arousing fear in conservationists who were worried about the pod getting stranded again. Rescuing the whales once is already hard work. In general, these whales can grow to be about 19 to 25 feet long and weigh between 2,900 and 5,000 pounds each. Imagine pushing and shoving such a large animal back into the water. New Zealand is no stranger to mass whale strandings. In fact, some of the footage you're seeing right now was taken from separate events a few years apart, one of which involved the stranding of 400 individual whales. To this day, scientists aren't really sure why these mass strandings occur. A truck-sized shark. From truck-sized whales, let's now move on to a truck-sized shark. Fishermen in Bremen, Maine were shocked to see this massive dead basking shark the size of a pickup truck washed up on one of their beaches. This monster of a basking shark measured 26 feet long, and no one really knows how it died, nor how it got there. These massive sharks are the second largest sharks in the world, reaching lengths of up to 40 feet, with only the whale shark being bigger. They are also extremely rare and seldom spotted out in the wild, hence the reason why this carcass drew in quite a large crowd. Despite their imposing appearance, basking sharks are mostly harmless to humans. They feed by swimming forward with their huge mouths open, slurping up thousands of tons of seawater every hour and filtering out tasty zooplankton and other tiny marine invertebrates through their gills. These sharks often feed near the surface, appearing as though they're basking in the sun. And despite their size, they have been known to leap up to 4 feet straight out of the water. Mysterious blobs of tar. Oil spills are bad news. Not only do they adversely affect marine life, cleaning up these huge messes also requires a lot of time and effort, as well as a lot of money. That's why oil spills are thoroughly investigated to make sure that the people responsible will be held accountable. Thing is, culprits aren't always caught, such is the case when globs of tar suddenly appeared in the normally pristine Mediterranean coastline. These strange balls of tar started appearing on Israel's Mediterranean coastline back in February of 2021. Over 100 miles were affected by the tar balls, which were the result of an oil spill 31 miles off the coast. Normally, oil spills form a slick across the sea's surface and washes up on beaches in a more liquid form. The Israel spill, however, turned into tar balls because rough sea conditions from a storm broke up the slick and mixed it into the seawater for several days, creating small, concentrated blobs of congealed oil. It was described by officials as one of the most serious ecological disasters the country has ever seen. Thousands of volunteers turned out at beaches across Israel's coastline to help clean up. Even Israeli soldiers were dispatched to help. However, several volunteers had to be taken to hospital after breathing in toxic fumes given off by the sludge. And, of course, there were casualties. One 55-foot-long fin whale washed ashore and its stomach was filled with oil. Hundreds of juvenile turtles also died while crawling through the thick muck. Thing is, no one really knows who caused the massive oil spill, and it's still being investigated to this day. A fish within a jellyfish. Jellyfish wash up on shores all over the world all the time. But this is something that you just don't see every day. Wildlife photographer Ian Watkin was out on an early morning stroll with his dog when he came across an alien-looking creature on Harlan Bay Beach in Padstow. The bizarre discovery showed a compass jellyfish washed up on the shore with a clearly visible fish stuck inside of it. The compass jellyfish probably died due to its unusually large meal, which, according to experts, it probably didn't eat on purpose. You see, jellyfish are often used as nurseries by juvenile fish as they hide amongst their tentacles for protection from predators. However, this unfortunate fish might have been stung and died. And, of course, the hungry jellyfish couldn't pass the opportunity to grab a large and easy meal. Sea pickles. Just recently, hundreds of animals nicknamed sea pickles have been washing up on the shores of Oregon. And they are becoming quite the hot topic in the beaver state. While they're called sea pickles based on their looks, the animals are actually a colony of multi-celled organisms called zooids, meaning individual zooids will be tightly packed together to form a bigger version of themselves. These colonies can make the creature about 60 feet long and wide enough for a human to fit in. While giant sea pickles like that are hard to come by, a pair of divers actually encountered a 26-foot-long one in 2018. It's believed that the recent storms in the South Pacific Ocean have created those strong ocean currents to where hundreds of people have spotted sea pickles throughout the Oregon coast. So far, there have been no other reports of the creature in any other Pacific states, but if you do find some, don't be afraid to get a closer look, because if they're already washed up on the beaches, they're probably already dead. A massive moonfish. It's not only sea pickles that have washed onto Oregon shores recently. Beachgoers in this state were recently wowed by the dazzling remains of an exotic 100-pound fish after it washed up hundreds of miles from its normal habitat. It's called a moonfish, sometimes called an opa. This particular specimen, dead of course, was 3.5 feet long and was discovered on the shores of Sunset Beach in northern Oregon. The colorful creature had a mix of silvery and bright reddish-orange scales across its flattened circular body, with occasional white dots and glinting golden eyes. It can't be determined why the moonfish died, but apart from being dead, it looked to be in great shape, which postulates that it died close to the shore. Opa are pelagic fish, meaning they live in the open ocean but are commonly found off the coast of California and around Hawaii. However, it is extremely rare to find one this far north. Experts believe that warming ocean temperatures caused by climate change are forcing the opa to leave open waters that have become too hot and move into once colder waters. In fact, these fish have been known to travel long distances in response to environmental conditions. These fish are unique because recent studies revealed that moonfish are the only fully warm-blooded fish living today, meaning they can control their body temperatures to stay warm. Little else is known about their biology, although scientists think moonfish can grow to over 6 feet and weigh more than 600 pounds.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
The biggest swordfish ever found. In 2021, the largest sawfish on record was sighted in the Florida Keys. Too bad it was already dead, but even in that state, scientists are still excited with the find. The 16-foot-long, sharp-snouted fish was a mature female with eggs the size of softballs found in her reproductive tract, giving marine biologists the rare chance to study her carcass to determine her age and learn more about her reproductive past. There are only 5 species of sawfish, which are found throughout the world in tropical and subtropical waters, but Florida and northern Australia appear to be the last strongholds for these species. The one found recently was a small-toothed sawfish. In comparison to other sawfish species, the one in Florida is about medium-sized, as some species of sawfish can grow up to as much as 23 feet long. That's larger than even the great white shark. See you guys next time!